cover mechanic, right?
Oh yeah, I forgot Rainbow Six Siege was also announced. I think it was just mainly shown at the the Ubisoft conference. I can't remember, but I'll put gameplay of that in this video. So yeah, Rainbow Six Siege looked awesome as well, and yeah, let's get on with the video.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Bobby W223 here. I know I haven't made a video in a minute, but yeah. So I'm just going ahead and do my thoughts on the Microsoft E3, and then I'll do Sony and Nintendo's after that. So yeah, I actually wasn't even gonna do these videos, but so jump right on to Microsoft. I'm gonna say right at the bat, I feel that overall they actually had probably the best showing out of the three. I think it's pretty close between them and Nintendo, but I'll get more to that later. So Microsoft, you already know, they start off with Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. That's, they start off pretty predictable. That's just what they do. Call of Duty, the drill. It's, they get the map packs first, yada, yada, yada. We know it's Call of Duty. They show the single players, futuristic. I'm tired of Call of Duty, so, it's cool for folks, I guess, that care about that. Then they went into Forza Horizon 2. I'm not a big fan of like realistic simulator racers. Never was a fan of Gran Turismo or in those type of games. But I mean, it looked cool. I'm sure people that are fans of Forza will like that. I actually think Forza is the better game between Gran Turismo and Forza. But like I said, I'm not really a huge fan of either. So I can't really comment too much on that. But I mean, it looked cool. They showed off some of the tracks or whatnot. I mean, it looked all right. Then they got into Evolve, the game Evolve. That's probably the first highlight for me from Microsoft Conference. I cannot wait for that game. It looks really cool. It's the people that made Left 4 Dead, I believe, are making this game or something like that. Looks awesome. It's supposed to be a beta this fall. I believe that's what they say. I'm just going off of memory, so excuse me if I'm getting some things mixed up or if I'm forgetting some stuff. But yeah, Evolve, that looks awesome. Then Assassin's Creed Unity, which is supposed to have co-op. That's cool, Assassin's Creed, it's got a little stale over the years, but hopefully this co-op, which I believe is for the full single player, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's for the actual full single player, so that should be pretty interesting. Gameplay look cool and everything. Assassin's Creed, you guys already know. I believe too that they have some extra content on the Xbox One this time, because I know for the last few years, Sony has gotten the extra exclusive content for PlayStation, but I believe this time around the Xbox One's supposed to get some exclusive content. So that's good. That's really good. Assassin's Creed obviously is a big franchise. Then they went into Dragon Age Inquisition. Not much to say on that. The other Dragon Age games are pretty cool, so I'm sure this one will be good. Yeah, some DLCs hitting Xbox One first for that game as well. What else did they show? Sunset Overdrive. Yes. That's probably one of the best games I saw at E3, period. Once again, it's one of the reasons why I think Microsoft had arguably the best conference out of the big three. I'm not going to do EA or Ubisoft just for the fact that most of the stuff that they showed was also shown at Sony and Microsoft conferences. But yeah, 8-player co-op for that. Once again, more co-op. Sony, you need to start putting some full-fledged cooperative exclusive games out. Seriously, I know some people don't like co-op, but there's people that do like co-op. For every person that says they don't like co-op, I can name you somebody that does. So, Sony, you need to get on that, because Microsoft, once again, they're coming out with the cooperative experiences, and this is awesome. Sunset Overdrive looks fun as hell. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. It looks great. I really want to play that game. It's an Xbox One exclusive though, so maybe sometime down the road I'll get an Xbox One, just like how I got a 360 a few years into that life cycle. So who knows? But look cool. It could possibly be a system seller depending on how great the game is once it's finally out. But so far, from what they've shown, I'm pretty impressed with that. So moving right along, I think they sold some like Dance Central stuff or something. Skippable. I'm going off of memory. Plus, I am reading through a list that has some highlights, but I think that they missed some stuff on this article. But Fable Legends, it looked okay. I've never been a huge Fable fan, but I mean, it looks interesting. Kind of reminds me of like of Dungeons and Dragons or some shit like that, where you have the overall lord or whatever he is that kind of like is like the master or the villain or whatever, and then like everybody else is kind of going through the board. It looks like that, but more of a third person action game or whatever. But somebody can play as a villain, so it looks interesting, I guess, but not something I would really play. Project Spark, some folks say, oh, it's just like they're a Little Big Planet. Yeah, yes and no, I guess. Seems okay. That little tease with Conquer, that was fucked up though. I thought that they were gonna show an actual new Conquer game, but I guess you can play as Conquer in Bat Verde, in Project Spark. So, whatever. Uh, they showed some indie stuff, looked pretty cool. Some side scroller indie games. They showed a game that kind of looked like Limbo as well. I can't remember the name of that game, but that looked very very cool. Then they got into the Halo stuff. The Halo Master Chief Collection. So pretty much all the relevant Halo games. That's awesome. Halo is definitely always been a great franchise, for better for worse. Some people want to hate on that game now, but apparently, read this article, says it's supposed to be over 100 multiplayer maps. So yeah, that's awesome. There's a beta for Halo 5. I'm excited to see some more on that game. They really didn't show any gameplay on Halo 5, which is a little disappointing. But I mean, Halo 5 is supposed to be coming out next year. That's going to be a huge game next year, obviously. Oh yeah, the game was called I think it was called Inside. I believe that was the limbo-ish kind of game. That looked freaking awesome. That looked like a really cool indie game. They showed Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider that's coming out, Rise of Tomb Raider. That looks awesome. I don't know if there's any extra or exclusive content from that game or not, but regardless, that's coming out next year. I'm looking forward to that. The Witcher 3 pretty much looked like the best open world game graphically that they showed. That shit looked amazing. I can't wait for The Witcher 3. And no, I haven't really played the other ones, but I mean, the game looks very intriguing. I've always kind of been interested in The Witcher, so yeah, that's something that I am looking forward to. Hopefully, I won't be too lost if I play that game. Phantom Dust, really not much to say on that. I'm kind of mad that they didn't show Quantum Break too. That was kind of let down. They did show The Division. This was to have some exclusive content for that game as well, so that's awesome. That looks, like it's gonna be a great game. All the gameplay that they've shown so far looks good. I know some people were talking about, oh, the graphical downgrade on blah blah blah. Like the shit still looks good to me. For this being an MMO RPG shooter hybrid game or whatever, that shit looks awesome. So I'm looking forward to that. That game's Scalebound or whatever the fuck, Scale Down. It looks like Devil May Cry and Monster Hunter mixed together. I mean, it's hard to really just go off of a trailer, especially for a new IP, But it'll probably be pretty cool, I guess. Crackdown, that looked fun. Crackdown's always been kind of one of those games that to me was never really like a big game, but I mean, it is something nice to play outside of the Halos and the Gears of Wars. Which they didn't show freaking Gears of War. That was pretty much it. I know I'm missing some other things. They showed some other indie games that look pretty cool. Yeah, Microsoft, I mean, they stuck to the games. They didn't really talk about any apps or any of that bullshit. So, I gotta give it to Microsoft. I'm not really a huge Xbox fan as some other people are, but they had a great conference. I mean, it was just game after game after game, very good pacing, not a lot of dead points, if any. They didn't really spend too much time rambling like how I'm rambling right now, but yeah, it was awesome. If I had to grade it, I mean, I'd probably give them like a 9 out of 10. Only reason they don't get a 10 out of 10 because I mean they didn't really show Gears, like actual like gameplay, no gameplay of Halo 5, things like that. Quantum Break, I was really looking forward to seeing that. They didn't show that, but otherwise, I mean, for what they did show and their pacing and everything, like, yeah, hands down, one of the best conferences, if not possibly the best. So stay tuned. I'm gonna do Sony's next, and then Nintendo's, and once again, I'm not gonna do EA and Ubisoft. So I'll just kind of talk about them as I go. But anywho, yeah, it's your boy Bobby W223. Peace out.